This team is going to take on the identity of this city, all right? And this city's been down, and it found a way to get up, all right? It's found a way to overcome adversity, all right? And so this team's going to be built on, we're going to kick you in the teeth, all right? And when you punch us back, we're going to smile at you. And when you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, all right? And we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. All right, and on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Gridiron Blitz, and you are now watching Spiked Kool-Aid, the newest Tuesday night show of the Detroit Lions scene. And I am in the building with 2 of my dudes from ISN. We've got MICROMIKE from Detroit Lions Talk with MICROMIKE. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm ready for some Spiked Kool-Aid. I'm ready to get this thing hot and heavy. Talk about some Detroit Lions football with my guys. What a beautiful Tuesday.
Absolutely. And we have Mark ORUM'S from ORUM'S Forum joining us this Tuesday. He's got the opportunity to do so. What's going on, Mark? How you doing, buddy?
Good, guys. What's going on today? It's Tuesday. This is new. Let's do this, man. Let's talk some Lions ball.
All right. Well, a lot of stuff has happened in the last week that we've been on. We know that Matthew Stafford, what are we talking about now? 9 days ago said he wanted to be traded, and what a whirlwind week it was. We went from speculating where he was going to be to where he would actually end up, and that news broke on Saturday night. Now, most of the people know our thoughts on this, but we'll start with Mark here. Mark, what are your overall thoughts on Matthew Stafford and the trade to the LA Rams?
I'm digging the trade, man. I think we got the best deal out of all the possible trade scenarios that were going down with like Washington, Carolina. I love the 2 first-round picks, even though they're future picks, because it's no guarantee what the Rams are going to go do over there. Yes, the Rams, I think, got a pretty good, significant upgrade at their quarterback position over Goff. He's going to a good team, but we don't know what's going to happen. We're all rooting for LA Rams to, kind of fail now because we're getting those 2 first-round picks coming to the future. So I'm digging the trade. We got a 3rd this year. We got a, I think he's a serviceable starting quarterback. I'm not big a fan of Goff, but he's serviceable, at least for me anyways.
Fantastic. And MICROMIKE, the guy that covers this team every single day, Monday through Friday, give me your overall thoughts in case people missed it on this trade.
I forgot what good Kool-Aid tastes like, and it tastes very, very good. I'm used to Kool-Aid without the sugar in there, just pouring in the mix in some water and getting that nasty taste. But this past month, 2 months, let's say, has been fantastic. I love the trade. Look, we're getting future draft capital, and we'll touch base on what that means for the team. We're also getting a player that started. Folks, we're going to get a player that started either way. A Tyrod Taylor, these type of guys on a retread, Fitzpatrick. But now we got one that's better than that, in my opinion. Jared Goff is better than a lot of these guys in the free agent market. 2 first-round picks, 3rd-round pick, fantastic trade. Love it. This is how you build a franchise via draft, doing the necessary tasks that's required to accommodate capital to build a football team. You have to have capital. Bob Quinn removed capital. Brad Holmes, bring capital back in. Love it.
Absolutely. And what we're going to do is now we're going to talk about who actually won the trade. We're going to look at the other trade offers that have been reported to come in of the other teams that offered Matthew Stafford, what they were going to offer for Matthew Stafford. But before we do that, let's take a look at this video and see what, for those of you who missed it, take a look at this video.
Well, Adam Schefter had the news first. Adam, talk about this trade. Did it happen quickly? What did you know about it as the day progressed on Saturday?
John, the Rams had been working on this for a few days now, and the Detroit Lions really wanted to get this done and resolved as soon as possible. And there were other teams involved in the process as well, but it quickly became apparent that the Los Angeles Rams wanted Matthew Stafford as badly as Matthew Stafford wanted them. Matthew Stafford was drawn to the idea that he would be playing for Sean McVay in the Rams offense with those weapons in that city, in that stadium, which hosts the Super Bowl next season. And obviously it became quickly apparent that those two sides wanted it to work. And the Detroit Lions, once they got all that compensation in return, keep in mind, they get back the former number 1 overall pick, Jared Goff. They get 2 future first-round picks, a third-round draft pick, a lot of picks for Matthew Stafford, who they were going to trade anyway. It worked on all ends for all sides, and they agreed to the deal, which cannot be processed until the new league year begins in the middle of March, John.
This will be the 5th straight draft. The Rams don't have a number 1 draft pick, but that's never scared them off in the past. When a trade like this happens, Adam, and you break it, I'm sure you start hearing from people around the league, getting texts from coaches, GMs, players. What was their reaction to this? Did they think it was too much given up by the Rams to get Stafford?
Listen, it's never too much to give up for a quarterback that you believe in. Sean McVay is getting a quarterback that he's identified and studied at length already over the last couple of weeks that he believes will be a star in LA. Keep in mind, the Lions' new general manager is Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes, formerly of the Rams personnel department. He knows Jared Goff very well. And Dan Campbell, the Lions' new head coach, also looked at Goff as somebody they wanted. So the Rams get the quarterback they want to play under Sean McVay. The Lions get a quarterback that they know well to take over from Matthew Stafford, and they now will have double ones after this year in each of the next 2 years, not to mention the 3rd-round pick in this year's draft.
You predicted massive turnover at the quarterback position in the NFL. I think your over-under was 18, so this is a 2-for-1 special for you. Could this mean more trades coming quicker than normal, Adam, or are these all mutually exclusive? Could we see momentum for deals now?
Well, John, we always thought that this would be an unprecedented movement of quarterbacks during the offseason. And already, we haven't gotten to the Super Bowl. We're a week away from the Super Bowl, and we've already seen 2 former number 1 overall picks trade teams. It's just the start. When you look at all the names that are out there and all the potential moves that are out there, this will just be the beginning. And again, there aren't many teams you could look at that you know their opening day starter. But you know what we now know too? We know that Matthew Stafford is going to start for the Rams. We know that Jared Goff is going to start for the Detroit Lions.
And we also know the Lions play at the Rams this fall coming up. Hopefully we'll have the stands filled again with fans to see that going down. Adam Schefter will be busy over the next couple of weeks and couple months as he breaks down the trade of Matthew Stafford going to the Rams.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.
All right, I forgot that was in there, but that's okay. So now that brings us to the topic of who actually won this trade. Now, you got a lot of opinions out there, a lot of Rams fans, a lot of Lions fans that are kind of split on this. And we're going to start with Mark Orum from ORUM'S Forum. Now we're going to talk about Stafford Goff. Coming up next, we're going to talk about, did Matthew Stafford give up on the Detroit Lions? And I'm sure you guys are going to want to hear our opinion on that. But Mark, what do you think? Who won this trade? Was it the Detroit Lions or the LA Rams?
Well, for me, I'm kind of split down the middle on this. It's way too early to actually tell who actually won this trade. I do believe, like I said earlier, I think that the LA Rams did get an upgrade in quarterback. And I think we got a lot of draft capital that I don't think that a lot of teams were obviously not willing to give us 2 firsts, a third, and a player. It's extremely early to tell. The 2 firsts are the kicker for me. It's beautiful getting those because, like I said too before, we don't know what's going to happen with these Rams. Everyone keeps saying, "Oh man, the Rams are Super Bowl contenders." Okay, but you forgot about the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks and the up and coming Arizona Cardinals. They got something to say about that.
And that's just inside the division, Mark. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. Great point, man. That's exactly what I'm saying. That NFC West is no joke. So, like, for me right now, I'm at a wait and see approach with it because I can't say who won and who lost. I don't really have an opinion just yet on that. But I think both teams made out like bandits. I really do.
Wow. Mark, that's actually surprising, man, but I respect that opinion. Now, MicroMike, who do you think won this trade? Is it your Detroit Lions or the LA Rams? And I know you'll give us a unbiased opinion, but who do you think won this trade?
Hands down, Detroit Lions won this trade. Rams are depending on one player to take them to a Super Bowl. They've already been to the playoffs. They won with Jared Goff, and they expect to win a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford is just one person. Now they have to re-sign all these free agents that they have on their team that made their defense extremely good. You're going to be inability to do so with that, and you don't have draft capital to build upon this. If they don't win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, Sean McVay could be gone. Why? Because you don't have draft capital. You're depending on one person. If Stafford gets injured, and he has been injured the last 3 years, 2 broken backs and everything last year, they're in a world of hurt. We get 4 players out of this. We get a Jared Goff, a 3rd-round pick, and 2 first-round picks. We're not dependent on one player. We're dependent on 4, and we're dependent on draft capital, in which you can go up and down a draft. You're not stuck at one position, and you can work your way through there. No one in their right mind would have thought a player who's hurt themselves 3 years in a row, 33, would get 2 first picks, a 2nd or a 3rd-round pick, and a quarterback. That's an insane deal. Deshaun Watson's licking his chops right now. At least the Houston Texans are. Because if they can get that for Matthew Stafford, imagine being 25 and doing what he did for the Texans. That is a lot of capital to depend on one player. I don't like that, because if that one player gets injured, and it's very possible, you're in a world of hurt. If you don't win a Super Bowl, you're in a world of hurt. And I guess, like Mark was saying, Arizona, San Francisco, Seattle, they have something to say about that. They're not just automatically Super Bowl contenders. Seattle, a pretty good team. 49ers, pretty good team. Arizona, pretty good team. That's a lot depending on one. I would rather take the 4.
Well, they put all their eggs in the Matthew Stafford basket, and the Rams, after coming up after the deal is done and the time passes with the Detroit Lions, we're talking about 7 or 8 years since they had a number 1 first-round pick. So that will be since Jared Goff was drafted. So the phone lines will be opening up in approximately 8 minutes, and be ready. 515-603-5624. The number will be on the screen. So get your telephones ready if you want your voice heard. That's what the purpose of this show is. Now, Mike, we're going to start with you. It was some reports that came out about what other teams may have been offering for the Detroit Lions quarterback, Matthew Stafford. And we've got some information here. I'll put this on the screen. And the Rams kind of had the best deal. But, Mike, is there any other deal? Just off the top, we can just take this page right here from this first page. Is there any other deal that you see on this screen that you would have given Matthew Stafford up for? I know a lot of people feel like the Carolina pick was also going to be a good one. But is there anything you see here that kind of sparks your interest?
Only the Carolina Panthers pick sparked my interest there. With the 8th overall pick, you'd have 7 and 8. You could really go up and get a quarterback. You can trade back. You're getting a later pick. It doesn't tell you what later pick it is, so potentially 2 players for 1. Other than that, I would not want any other deal, because 2 first-round picks and a 3rd and a player is much better than every other deal on there besides Carolina. I still think that the deal that we got was the best one that was given, and we took it. Yes, we don't have a first-round pick next year from the team. With that said, folks, we have one the year after and the year after, and nobody on planet Earth can just say that, oh, Rams going to the Super Bowl and winning it 2 years in a row, so it's going to be 2 32nd pick. What if they suck? What if Matthew Stafford goes down? Look what the Miami Dolphins did to the Houston Texans. They're picking 3rd in the draft because of Houston sucked. They thought that idea would work, and it worked the benefit of Miami, not in the benefit of the Houston Texans.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? I'm looking here, and I see a lot of people were enamored with this Carolina Panthers pick. They would have given us the 8th overall, which means that we would have had the 7th pick and the 8th. While that's enticing, there also would have been a later round pick. And out of this as well, I think it's intriguing that the Indianapolis Colts, they offered a lot of things, but they never offered their first round pick, which is 21st overall. So I'll go and I'll say a lot of people feel like that maybe we should have taken the Carolina deal, but we also have to understand that the Lions were trying to work with Matthew Stafford. So from my opinion, I think that this was the best deal. We got a guy who is starting caliber. And that's what I said before. We don't want to have to get a guy. I'm not very fond on a Tyrod Taylor. I'm not very fond of a Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I think that out of these couple 4 teams, that the Lions took the best deal. Now, Mark, what do you think? Do you think the Lions took the best deal? Is there any other package on this screen that appeals to you in any way?
Well, the packages that I've seen here, like, yeah, I'm in total agreement with you guys. The Carolina Panthers offer was probably the best offer. We would have the 8th overall pick from them, and that later pick, we don't know what that later pick was. There's rumors that it was the 3rd. I don't know if that was true. But if we had the 7th and 8th pick, that's really tough to give up and say no to, because you could do so much damage with 7 and 8. Like Mike said, move up, move down, do whatever you want to do. You can even grab a Micah Parsons and a Gregory Rousseau back to back. Possibly that could have been really enticing right there. I just don't know what that later round pick was, because it never really came full circle. It just says plus a later pick.
Yeah.
So, but I think we got the better end of the deal. I think the Rams deal, 2 firsts. So we're going to have a total of 4 first-round picks in the next 2 years, starting next year, which is phenomenal, I think. And like you said, we're going to get a serviceable quarterback, who I think. And listen, I'm not dissing him, man.
I know, Mark, and I appreciate
I'm
your
not
candor.
dissing him. I'm just saying, I just think that he's serviceable, and I really think he's on a 2-year window. I really do, because his out is 2023. Where it's not going to cost a dime to get rid of him. So, and you can actually save money next year. If it's a total flop, you can save $10 million. So I'm hoping he is the guy. Like I hope it really is, man. You know what I mean? I hope he turns his career around. But going back to what we were saying, I think the Rams was the best deal.
Yeah, as do I. And if we take a look at the other teams that were up there, the San Francisco 49ers, the Broncos, the Patriots, which is ironic because he said, send me anywhere but New England. I don't want to go there. And I think it's very intriguing that the Jets also checked in. Not sure what that means, but they checked in to look at Matthew Stafford. Now, what really, really intrigues me about this is 2 on here. San Francisco had the nerve to not offer the 12th overall pick, which to me was a no-brainer as well. And on here, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the Denver Broncos did not want to part with Drew Lock. So that brings me to this point here. They didn't want to part. Exactly right. They didn't want to part with Drew Lock, okay, because they said he was a part of their young core, right? So a lot of Lions fans are saying, like, we could have had Drew Lock because our organization did have interest in one Drew Lock, but thankfully we got Jared Goff from the Rams. So, Mike, is there anything on this page that would maybe entice you a little more than what we saw before?
The Broncos discussed pick equating swap for a first round late pick. They don't have a first round late pick, so I was just curious to see what is that meant to be by. How would you get a late first round pick when they don't have one? So maybe there's another team involved. I'm just curious the behind the scenes with that specific deal that they had on the table.
Absolutely. And Mark, what do you think, man? Is there anything on here? San Francisco has Jimmy G. They seem like they're not going to really keep him, and they've given up on him as well, all but. Is there anything on here that might have intrigued you over the first page?
Yeah, there's nothing on here that intrigues me. Like this checked in thing too.
Yeah.
This checked in. Okay.
Yeah.
What does that even mean? And I'm actually offended by the Broncos. I'm actually offended by the Broncos offer.
As you should be,
like,
my friend.
Just like Mike said, man. What, like, you don't have like what do you mean a late first round pick? Like future? Like I don't even know what that means. And
exactly.
And the 49ers go away. Like, you know what I mean? Like you guys, that whole page right there, it disgusts me, man. And like, and the whole thing about all these picks too is that apparently, like I'm reading a little bit that the Lions through this whole thing, they wanted a quarterback in return. Like
yes, they did.
They were
Yes,
inquiring about Bridgewater. They were inquiring about Jimmy G. It was all, but who else? Yeah, Drew Lock. They were inquiring about all these guys, and I don't think the Lions, obviously, they weren't going to get out of this without getting at least the quarterback. So, but that page, no, nothing there intrigues me, Grid. Nothing.
Absolutely, and I agree. So I agree. We got that, and we could all agree at this table that Jared Goff is definitely an upgrade over Drew Lock, right? We could definitely. And so, absolutely. I've seen the guy play. He is horrendous. Okay. I think I would almost take David Blau over Drew Lock. But the phone lines are open. We will keep them open for the next 10 minutes. So make sure you call. Now, thank you to everyone is in the chat commenting. Keep that up. If I miss somebody's comment, it's I apologize. I have a certain structure that I'm trying to run, but you keep that up, keep commenting, keep liking the stream, and we will try to get to some of you guys' comments. But I would really prefer for you to call in, because that's what type of show this is. Now, I want you guys to remember this is a family-friendly show. So if you call in, please refrain from profanity. We do have someone on the line here, and I would like to know, who are we speaking to?
Hey, this is Josh from Detroit, Michigan.
What's up, Josh from Detroit, Michigan? How you feeling, buddy?
Hey, not too bad, Blitz. I've been watching you all the time. I really like your show, man. I really think that it's good for the family and the kids, and actually you've been my favorite. You and Trox. I actually like all three of you guys' inputs. They get very loud. A lot of knowledge, and I've been watching you guys lately with all this draft talk and trades. I just wanted to give you a shout out to you guys for the work that you guys been doing.
Well, that is fantastic, sir. I appreciate that. But
no problem.
What you calling in for, man? What you got to say?
Yeah, I'm saying honestly, all those things that you guys brought up, those are trash. I'm kind of offended by those those offers, especially by the Broncos. I mean, what do the Broncos think they are? A late rounder? San Francisco, they rather keep Garoppolo compared to Stafford. I think they're high up in that San Francisco.
I would have to agree with you on that.
For sure.
I like the picks overall. I mean, a lot of Lions fans that are friends, and they all like the picks. I think honestly, Goff's a winner. I mean, he's proven himself. He's got to the Super Bowl. He's got to the playoffs. I mean, if we can just maybe draft some, like maybe one old offensive lineman and a couple of defensive players, I think honestly we can do better and start building up than we ever did before. I mean, I'm happy with it. The thing is, you see so many Lions fans, they always complain about everything. Like, I think honestly, Sheila Ford is actually doing more than I've seen through this ownership through my whole life, 30 years. I think Sheila Ford's really showing herself that she wants to win. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. What do you guys think about maybe Sheila Ford and her moves? And I think Patricia firing him after Thanksgiving was smart. And with everything, I don't know. What do you think, you guys?
Well, hey, Josh, we will answer that. We got a couple more people on the line, so we will answer that, man. But I appreciate you calling. We'll give you an answer right after this.
I see everybody in the chat there. Hey, shout out to everybody. I'm reading all the comments. Keep it up. Grid's doing a lot of work here.
Yeah,
and
thank
so
you.
We see you and we hear you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So Josh, man, thank you for calling. I do see you guys on the line, so just stick around we got a couple more minutes for phone calls. What do we think? How do we think Sheila has done? I'll start it off. Sheila, she started in the hole with me because of her being in as we fired Jim Caldwell and hiring Matt Patricia. Then she decided to retain him, which was another mark in my opinion. So for me, I said, okay, the first thing I want to know is she going to live up to her declaration of firing him if we're not playing meaningful football? So I got to say, she has really, really grown on me. And right now, I got to give her an A+, man, because she's doing the thing and I appreciate what she's doing. Now, Mike, what do you feel, man? Josh want to know, how do you feel Sheila has done thus far?
Great question, Josh. I think that she's done a fantastic job, A+ job. She came in here understanding that she doesn't know everything, and a good person who wants to lead a business or operate something understands what their negatives are, what they're not good at. And what does she do? She goes and hires Chris Spielman. Of course, he knows football. From there, they do a thorough interview process, and they do what it needs to create a franchise the correct way. The idea that she gave football people the power to make football decisions make me really like her as a owner right now. A lot of other people may want to get mixed in. She's not doing that. She's just letting them people do their jobs, and correctly build a franchise. You can't ask for more than that, what's going on right now. She fired the guys when she needed to fire them. She hired the people that she needed to hire them. She did exactly what she stated. She kept her word, and she's letting Holmes and Dan Campbell, our head coach, do what is required to build a team. Now coaches are coming here. Now people are enticed to come to Detroit. That's what you want to do. That is what you want to do, and she's letting it happen. A+.
Absolutely. Mark, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off what Mike said. That's exactly, like, I'm going to say this in the most respectful way that I can about Sheila Ford. Hallelujah that she kept her nose out of this. Like, absolutely. You know what I mean? That she's surrounding herself with people, like Mike said, football people that are making football decisions. Because we've seen in the past what Martha has done. We've seen what Big Willie Clay used to do. He always had rules. It was always like, okay, I'll let you do this, but you can do this, but you know what I mean? It was always a rule. Now she has let, and Rod Wood has surrounded themselves with football people making football decisions. This has been an A+ effort. I really applaud her for this, that she's finally letting football people take care of business. And that's what we need for success.
Absolutely. And we have the DERRN, who showed up as well to join the podcast, and we appreciate him being here as well. So I agree, guys. She had a lot of work to do, in my opinion, and she was able to do that. While we wait on the DERRN, we have another call. Guys, stay on the line. I appreciate you calling. I am going to take you in the order that you called. So let's see who we have on the line here. You are on Spiked Kool-Aid. You need to turn your TV down. And who are we speaking to?
Nick. I appreciate you calling. I'm going to take you in the order that you called. So hello.
And yep. How you doing, buddy? Who are we speaking to? You got to turn your TV down, though.
Nick.
All right, Nick. Nick, turn your TV down for me. All right, Nick. Nick, I need you to turn your TV down because there's an echo. So we got you, Nick. You ready? All right. Nick, how you doing, man?
I'm good.
All right. So what's going on, man? Thank you for calling on into the show, first of all. And what are your thoughts, buddy?
I was just wondering how much everybody likes Goff. I like him, but what would you think we could pack up some of them first-round picks and Goff and go for Watson or not?
You know, we've gotten this question a lot. It's been a lot. I'm gonna let MICROMIKE say something in lieu of that. So Mike, what you got, man? Because I think that's not going to happen, but I'll let Mike go and elaborate a little more.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting because the Houston Texans the rumor came out that they want, I believe it was 3 firsts and 2 seconds and 2 players, or 2 firsts, 2 seconds and 2 players. And if you look what the Detroit Lions did, they got that right now. They literally picked up 2 more first-round picks. We got one this year, and you have our own next year. And, of course, we got young defensive players and second-round picks. Do I think they're going to do that? No, because it's really difficult to rebuild a franchise when you don't have draft capital, and I think they're wanting to do it that way. With that said, is it possible? You know, look, the Detroit Lions already made a bold move. They could do another one, but in my researching what I'm seeing from Brad Holmes, they wanted Jared Goff, and I don't think they're going to ship him away. I think it's Jared Goff's job this year and next year, and they brought him in because they like him and not to utilize him as trade bait or to package him with the deal to Houston Texans to acquire Deshaun Watson.
Yeah. Well, what I'm worried about is Goff getting beat around like Stafford did. If we don't have the offensive line, or he's on the field all the time because we don't have no defense.
Yeah, that's a valid concern. That's a valid concern. Mark, what do you think, man? You think the Lions might try to finagle something? But Nick, thanks for your call, man. We got another person on the line. I appreciate you, buddy.
No,
all right, thanks.
All right, no problem. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to try to finagle to get something out of Watson, to get Deshaun Watson or nothing like that. If they were to get rid of Goff right now, that's a $43 million dead cap hit. So that's cap suicide there, like right there. I think, like you guys are saying, we got our quarterback for the next couple of years. And to what Nick was saying too, I don't think this is going to be let's keep Stafford around thing. I think this regime, they're going to be getting quarterback. They're going to be looking at quarterbacks hard. If Jared Goff is not the answer, I don't think they're going to do the thing with Stafford and just like not draft the quarterback. These guys seem like they know what they're doing so far. It's been fairly early, but the moves they have made has been pretty good. Now there's rumors that they're actually looking at Tyrod Taylor to be the backup to Goff.
I did hear that. I did hear that. Yeah,
I seen that. I think it was on Bleacher Report. I read that. So that's another thing. So bye-bye Chase Daniel, bye-bye David Blau.
Thank God. Chase Paw Patrol Daniel. Paw Patrol is on a roll. This dude is trash. He's always been trash. I've never liked him. And if any Lion tried to defend him, then that's going to be on them. But listen, we're still in the first hour of Spiked Kool-Aid, and I appreciate all you guys for showing up today and blowing up the phone lines. Travis, I see you. John, I see you as well. Either you guys can stay on the line or you can call back during the next phone call segment, which will be in approximately 20 minutes. So we're still waiting on the DERRN, who decided to join us, and that is awesome. But we're going to continue with this dialogue here. And it was something that you and I, fellas, we've been talking about this for a long time. Okay. And this is the thing that I want to talk about. Did Stafford give up on the Detroit Lions? Now, this is a kind of an early hot take. A lot of Lions fans are still defending Matthew Stafford, which I understand. He's been our quarterback for the last 12 years. But at some point, you've got to be ready to let this guy go. With that being said, let's watch this video.
Will they miss Matthew Stafford in the locker room? Now, I'm going to let you guys go at it here because I know, TJ, I've heard you talk glowingly about Stafford as a teammate. John played with him 1 year, does not think he's a leader. You guys can debate this all you want.
Yeah, I think, listen, Matthew Stafford is as far as Detroit, he was the leader in that locker room. And it was more, not trying to say anything negative, it was pretty much all lead by example, right? He wasn't necessarily the rah-rah guy and getting on guys when he needed to, during the week in practice or in games. Once the games come around, I think it was one of his weaknesses where, he just needed a little bit more fire at times, not from him personally, but for the rest of the team, making the rest of the team better and pulling those guys up. Right. I think he did it at times, but I think, listen, man, by his last couple of years in Detroit, I think he was just so mentally and physically just drained. And I don't hold that against him because the last regime was really tough. I think this team's going to miss him. Yes, I do, because he was here for so long and he was always that older guy that you just went to if you had any problems or issues or anything like that. I think they'll miss him. But listen, when you're starting fresh the way they're going to, there's going to be a lot of new pieces in that locker room. I think it was best for them to move on from him and him to move on from this team and just start fresh, because you just need – it's kind of a new era almost where, hey, we need the younger guys to step up now. Frank Ragnow, Taylor Decker, this is your guys' team now. You guys are the older guys. We need you to kind of show the young guys how we want to rebuild things. I don't think Matthew Stafford going into year 13 really wanted to bear the brunt of that responsibility.
All right. Well, that was TJ Lang, former Green Bay Packer, former Detroit Lion. And I am going to start here with DERRN. We got the DERRN in the building. And I'll say this, okay? And this is why I wanted to do this show, because I am going to give y'all some fire right now. I've been one of the guys that said, hey, trade Matthew Stafford away. We're watching the Lions games and we're like, dude, this dude can win. This organization is abysmal and pathetic. Trade him away, okay? And I felt like that, and I still feel like that now. However, I must say this, and this is where I don't mind being public enemy number one. I feel, personally, that Matthew Stafford did give up on the team. Why do I say that? There are multiple quarterbacks, never won anything. Dan Marino, never won anything, man. Probably one of the greatest quarterbacks that retired with monumental achievements, but could not win the big game. So after hearing about buying the house. And Mike and Mark and DERRN, we've talked about this, man, in numerous occasions about Matthew Stafford. I personally feel like he gave up on his team. I know it sounds like an oxymoron, but we talk about it all the time. As a fan, we don't have a choice. Some people say, hey, pick another team. We can't do that. That's not what we do. Players, however, have that opportunity. And I feel like he did, man. And TJ Lang said it the best. He said, well, I don't want to. He probably didn't want to go through another rebuild. So, and another thing, fellas, that's bothered me is the fact that it's been 9 days or so since this news came out. And I don't know if he's allowed to speak, but we haven't heard a peep from Matthew Stafford. So we got his jerseys. We scream his name or whatever, but we haven't heard a peep from this guy. All we heard was, I wanted him out. And for me, I would have preferred to know about this. I wanted to know about this fire. I wanted to know, hey, I'm unhappy. Get me some guys. He never complained about anything until it was time to go. So I'll start with the DERRN. The DERRN, thank you for joining the show, first of all. Always good to have you here. Do you feel like Matthew Stafford gave up on his team? There's no answer that's wrong.
No, I don't think he gave up on the team. And thank you for having me. Love being here.
Sound good, bro. Sound that microphone.
Appreciate it.
I love it.
I wonder why. That gridiron legend.
Yeah.
I feel like he maybe gave up on the organization, but I don't think he ever gave up on his teammates. Because if you guys remember, ever since, you could just tell that he was drained in press conferences. He had no emotion. The only time he had emotion was on the field when he was trying to help his team. But during press conferences, he looked drained. And I think Quinn and Patricia took almost everything out of him. And he was tired of the Lions organization always going through the same stuff. We're going through another rebuild, more coaches. Like you said, I don't think he wanted to do it anymore. And like I told you guys last year, there was rumors that they wanted to go to LA because Kelly came out with it.
Yep.
I think they wanted to go last year.
Yep.
But they probably begged him to stay because it wasn't feasible to trade him last year.
Yeah.
Cap wise. And so I feel that he always gave his all for his teammates because they were a brotherhood. And if you guys remember, they had that on the last game, he had that meeting with his teammates right after the game. And I'm pretty sure he told them, look, guys, I can't go through another rebuild. It's time for me to go.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that he might not be able to speak because it's not currently official. But at the same time, I want to save some spice for Mike's show because Mike made a video today, Mike, and I want you to, you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, save some juice for your video or Thursday show, the One Pride podcast at 6:30 EST. Is that right, Mike?
Yes,
6:30,
sir.
right? 6:30 EST on MicroMike. So I wanted to save some for you, but we talked about maybe it was a little bit of salt sprinkling on a specific occasion between a quarterback and a coach, but we'll save that. But shout out to I Don't Give a Kachuk. My man Paul dropped a super chat. He says, y'all, this has become super quality. Amazing job. I appreciate that so much. Make sure you guys check his channel out. Man, he puts in work. Hockey guy. Love what he does, man. So make sure you guys
love the name.
Yeah, it's
Great
amazing,
name,
bro.
phenomenal
Yeah,
name.
absolutely. I use it all the time. Too bad he can't trademark it because that is awesome. But Mike, we know what DERRN said. You know how I feel. How do you feel, man? Do you feel like Matthew Stafford gave up on the Detroit Lions?
I'm feeling some type of way. And the reason why I'm feeling some type of way here is because last year the rumors came out about him wanting to go to Los Angeles. Okay, that was the rumors. To me, I thought it was their camp, the Stafford's camp, that put that out there. And it confirmed it now. Why did it confirm it? Well, obviously, he got traded to the Rams. With that said, he also had dinner a week before the trade with Sean McVay. All of a sudden ran into each other with each other's families. And before that, he apparently been friends with Sean McVay. To me, that's a little dissing a little bit.
Yeah.
It seems like last year they planned on doing this year, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That shouldn't have been on the mind last year at all, in my opinion. Yes, maybe the franchise disserviced him regarding the suck and not having all the players around him. With that said, that's shady in my opinion. A year ago? You've been talking about this for a year, going to the same place that you got traded to. This was discussed beforehand, in my opinion, and I don't like that. I appreciate the hard work he did for Detroit. I appreciate everything. With that said, I'm rooting against Los Angeles this year.
Mike, that's very questionable, man, because I feel very similar. But Mark, how do you feel, man? I know it might be a little hot. You know, we got our different opinions, and for me, I agree with Mike, and that's why I feel that way. It's feel like that this was kind of some sap. I feel like he knew it, because me personally, bro, if you go back and you watch the games, it doesn't seem like he was the same Matthew Stafford. He made some great plays, made some great throws, but he kind of just seemed like he wasn't here. But how do you feel, Mark? You feel like Matthew Stafford gave up on the team?
Yeah, there's a lot to go into this. Like Mike said, too, there was some shadiness going on. And like you say, too, with he seemed like he was mentally checked out the last couple of years. He really did. But I think a lot of it had to do with Patricia.
Yeah.
That now it's starting to leak out, obviously, that him and Patricia did not get along. I think we heard that maybe even a couple of years ago, and it just never come full circle. Mm-hmm. But as for him giving up on the team, or him just giving up per se, man, this is a guy that was here for 12 years, guys, okay? 12 years. Battered, bruised, beaten up, and he never wanted to come off the field. He never wanted to come off the field. He always tried to win for his team or his teammates. Now, like DERRN said, maybe he did give up on the organization itself, but to just say he gave up, man, I think it's just a little bit – I don't think that's right. That's right. I think there was some stuff going on, obviously, maybe the last year, that he wanted to obviously go to LA or go to San Francisco or something like that. But I don't think he actually gave up. Like, I think he tried to win for this city. He really did, guys. Like I said, beat up, battered, bruised. He did everything he could to try and win football games. But you know, and on the same point, like I said, he did seem a little bit mentally checked out the last year and a half, 2 years. He did. Absolutely. And I think a lot of it had to do with the coaching staff. I really do.
Yeah, it was a nightmare. Rumor came out that he said, you know, send me anywhere but New England. Shout out to Travis Doyley with the $5 super chat. Says, great show as always. Keep it up. Appreciate that, my friend. And also John with another super chat. Lions fan says, I'm going to try and call in on lunch if I can. Who do we want in free agency after the Goff contract? Can we bring back Sue? Now, that's ironic because Sue, it seems like he goes, whoever he's playing for is the best quarterback he's ever played for. But I don't think Sue will ever step foot as a Detroit Lion back in the state of Michigan. That's just my opinion, fellas. What do you think, Mike? Do you think that Sue could possibly come back to Detroit?
Man, that would be great to have Sue come back and hear those Sues again. I love screaming it. I love seeing him penetrate the offensive line and disrupt the quarterback right in the middle, just like you need to do. Devastating. He's a scary force, even though he's not what he used to be. I'd love to see it. I really, really do. I just don't think we got probably the money for it, even though he's not going to cost as much. You'll see a video I got dropping tomorrow about the cap situation. I'd love for him to come back, retire Detroit Lion, come back for whatever he does and finish his career in Detroit. Do I see it happening next year? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so either, especially if he gets that championship with Tampa Bay. You know, what's the incentive to come to Detroit? There is none. So the phone lines will be open in just over 5 minutes. Again, 515-603-5624. Make sure you guys queue up. If you want, you can begin calling. Just have to stay on the line until we reach that point. Now, the reason that I said I feel like that he gave up on the team is, you know, you got those people that want to win. They want to win. Now, I think as a fan, we could have said, hey, Matt, we want you to win. Because, see, when I said that, I'm saying, hey, I want to stand. If I'm Matt Stafford, this is how I feel. When I said I want you, I want you to win. It's like trade him away. Trade him away. But that is if he didn't have any say-so in the matter. You know, it's like, oh, he gave us 12 years and stuff like that. And Mark said it. He said it great, man. He did everything he could. He really did. At the same time, there are a lot of guys, man, in my opinion, that go down with the ship. A lot of guys that go down. It's a lot of prolific NFL players, basketball players that say winning is not as important as trying to accomplish a goal. And that goal for me personally, and a lot of people might not like this opinion, but that's okay. Okay. That goal is to bring winning to the city of Detroit. At this point, he's like, I want to be gone. I want to be gone and I want to be traded. So he nixed all the other deals and said, I wanted to be with LA. I want to go to LA. And I think his wife had something to do with that as well. And for me, Mike, that's the problem that I have and why I do feel that Matthew Stafford gave up on his team. However, it's a business and I understand it. Us as fans, we can't go to another team. Come on, man. People say that and I hate it. Because that's not what this is about. Players have a choice. We don't. So for me, Mike, that is why I feel like he gave up on the team, because it's so many quarterbacks that are better than him that never won anything. John Elway made sure he brought a title to Denver. Dan Marino, and I don't know what the specifics were, if Dan won it out and stuff like that, but there's a lot of great players who never win anything. And they still wound up in the Hall of Fame. T.O. didn't win anything. You know what I'm saying? Calvin Johnson, who is arguably a better receiver than Matthew Stafford as quarterback. Now, he wanted to be traded as well, but, he didn't. He didn't get traded. So that's how I feel, gentlemen, of why I feel that Matthew Stafford gave up on his team. Now, if you want to elaborate more, that is fine, Mike. I know you said you were feeling some type of way. How long do you think Matthew Stafford's been playing this for a while, right?
Yeah, I think it's been over a year planning it, because what are the odds that it would come, wanted to go to LA, and then a year later they go to LA? Come on, man. I mean, 1 + 1 is 2. 1 + 1 is 2. And so, yeah, I think Kelly Stafford has something to do with it, and which is fine. You want to go over there, fine. But look, I'm a Detroit Lions fan. I'm rooting for my team. I want my team to win. One pride till I die. You want to go over there, good. I kind of hope that you don't make the playoffs.
Ooh, that's tough. Yeah. That's better for us with those 2 upcoming draft picks. Exactly. Now, DERRN, a lot of people feel like Stafford's the key. Stafford's the answer. Stafford's going to change the way the LA Rams, they went pedal to the metal for this thing, man. They threw it all away. They threw it all away for the guy they want, right? So if Stafford's that guy, and I know I asked you this before, DERRN, how do you think he's going to do in LA?
He has zero room for failure.
Yeah.
If he fails there, then all the critics were right, because he has a good defense. They have a good run game. They have a good offensive line, defensive line. What else does he need now? They have decent tight ends. He has weapons in Woods and Kupp. There's zero excuse for him anymore. But it was just a great deal for both teams. I feel like Stafford is better than Goff, but it is such a risk for the Rams to trade for Stafford, knowing his injury history. Because once he goes down, I feel like they're not going to do much. They're going to have to, what is their backup's name? Walford
was solid though, man. We saw
him for 1.5 games.
I mean, he beat the Seahawks. He beat the Seahawks, man.
So did Goff. But I mean, everyone, all the Lions fans are still, hey, Goff's not good. Why is Goff not good?
That's actually the next point. It's on the screen. Is Jared Goff getting a fair chance from Detroit Lions fans? We're going to get into that.
Absolutely not.
We're going to get into that, DERRN, but absolutely. Phone lines will be opening up in a minute and a half, and we've already got Travis, I see you, and West Bloomfield, stay on the line as well. So, I know, Mark, you said he didn't really give up, man, but how do you think Matthew Stafford's going to do in LA? I mean, they went all out here. Matthew Stafford said it's not about the money. It's about because I personally, this is what I feel. I feel like Matthew Stafford went there because of Kelly. I don't necessarily think that he thinks the Rams are the answer. I don't know if he's really trying to win. Yes, they had the #1 defense, but they got eliminated in the second round of the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So does Matthew Stafford, what do you think Matthew Stafford's going to do in LA?
I think he's going to thrive in LA. I think all the pieces are there. And like when I say he's an upgrade over Goff, I'm not saying he's a significant, huge upgrade, but I think he's the better talent there. And like DERRN said, you got Cooper Kupp. You have who else is there? Woods. You have Tyler Higbee. You've got another good tight end in Gerald Everett. The run game is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Akers,
Yeah.
Darrell Henderson.
I love Henderson, bro. Henderson
so do I. Love him a lot,
is a stud, bro. His legs are always turning, man. I love the kid.
That's a top 10 running attack that they had last year. They were, I think they were 10th overall rushing the football. And the number one defense in the NFL during the regular season. They did lose against the Packers. They did lose in the playoffs, but that was the number one defense. He's set up for success. And he has all the tools. And like DERRN says, if he fails, though, it's just going to be, well, look what we told you guys. This is what he is. But I think he's going to do really well, and I think he's going to win a playoff game or two. I just hope it's not in the next. I just hope it doesn't come full circle. I hope it doesn't happen this year,
or the next,
or the next. But
in a way, you got to root against Matthew Stafford. In a way,
you have to root against him. But I think he's set up. I think he's set up for success, and I think he's a very good quarterback, and he's going to do well there. I really do.
Fantastic. Truth Teller with the $5 super chat says, will the Lions take the Chiefs route and draft one of these talented but flawed QB, Wilson or Fields, to develop behind Goff? I like Fields too. I'm going to say no, that they're not going to draft a quarterback with the 7th overall pick. They're going to trade back, and I believe in Brad Holmes is retool. That's what he wants to do. And trading Matthew Stafford for Jared Goff, specifically for Jared Goff, a starting caliber quarterback, that's exactly what he's trying to do. Mike, what are your thoughts, man? And then we'll get to the phone lines after we go through this.
Yeah, I think quarterback, I wouldn't say it's off the table, but I would go more to the camp that they're going to go ahead and probably trade back from the 7th pick. You got teams like Washington football team, Indianapolis Colts. You got other teams that are vying to get a quarterback. The Panthers are right behind the Detroit Lions. The Panthers showed their hand when they tried to acquire Matthew Stafford. The deal was almost done. Guess what, folks? They're trying to get a quarterback. That's what they just said. And so you're going to have teams that did not get a quarterback. They're thinking, man, we got to get ahead of Carolina because Justin Fields gone, Zach Wilson's gone, Trevor Lawrence is gone. We got Trey Lance left. Carolina's at 8. We got to trade with the Detroit Lions. Lions trade back, pick up more picks. That's what I kind of see is probably going to happen.
And those picks will be this year as well, most likely. I'm thinking that's the only way that Brad Holmes gets out of the 7th, in my opinion, if we have something that's going to affect this year. But it could be different. DERRN, what do you think, man? Do you think that the Lions could draft either a quarterback at 7, either one, the one that's left?
I highly doubt they go for a QB now. There is zero reason to get a quarterback after you get a quarterback back in the trade. They said it's a retool for a reason. And if you go with a quarterback, if you draft a quarterback, what is that telling Goff? He said he wanted to be at a place where he is wanted.
Yeah.
And what does that tell him if you draft one in the first round?
That we lied.
That we lied and we don't really trust him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it would tell him. And getting Goff opens up so many ways the Lions could go through this. They could go defense. They could go wide receiver. What I want them to do is to trade back. Like Mike and you said, trade back. And then you can go all defense if you want, like people are screaming for. You can get your weapons that Goff is going to need because we only have 2 wide receivers under contract next year. I think a great trade would be with Washington. And then you could get their first round pick for next year. So it would be 3 first round picks next year in the first round.
Ooh, we pulling some Miami stuff, but DERRN, it's been my pleasure. We're still here, brother. Go do your thing, man, and we'll be here when you get done.
Appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you, man. All right, phone lines are up. Thank you, Ty, because I forgot to put it on there. It's my first time doing it. Thank you guys for blowing up the phone lines. We're going to take Travis, the member gang bang. When you hear unmuted, that means I am going to call on you. Travis, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Give us your thoughts, man, on either of the topics that we talked about thus far. Or questions or whatever you got.
I think Brad Holmes traded for Jared Goff because he was there front and center. And knew what he wanted.
Yeah, I agree. And he was there with Goff. You know, he had something to do with that. Mike, what do you think, man? This is Travis. We got Travis on the line, member gang, to both myself and MicroMike. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate the things that you do. Mike, what do you think, man? He knew what he wanted when he got Goff. I had a feeling Goff was going to come here too.
Yeah, we talked about it. Look,
Yeah.
Holmes literally drafted Goff in 2016 with the first overall pick. They gave up a ton of first round picks to get him. And now Holmes reunites with him. He did not do this just to turn around and trade him or make him a guy to do nothing.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be the quarterback for the next couple of years. And the way that the media and the fan base makes it, if this guy comes out and completes a pass, hey, his expectations are so low. As long as he breathes, he's going to get a W here, because they made this guy sound like he is, licking windows and eating crayons.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that next, man. Disrespect to Jared Goff, which I think is, he's been to a Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford has not. So come on now. We got to put a little bit of respect on his name, because he did have a comeback win to get them to the Super Bowl. Hey, Trav, thank you for calling, man. We got some other folks in the line. You are awesome, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, Travis, Mr. Gang, member gang, man, we appreciate the call. I see the phone lines, they're blowing up. That's just how I wanted it to be. Thank you guys so much. And don't be offended if I can't take your call. I'm trying to get to everybody in the order that they called. Now, Mark, what do you think, man? Do we think we take that quarterback, or what do you think, bro?
Taking a quarterback at 7?
Yeah, do you think we're taking a quarterback at 7?
No, I don't think we're taking a quarterback at 7, especially now with the rumors that they're going after Tyrod Taylor. I know it's just a rumor, but like Mike said too, man, we're in perfect opportunity to trade now. DERRN also said it too. Like, trade with Washington, get past Carolina, because Carolina will be sitting there waiting to get one of those quarterbacks. They'll be waiting for the Trey Lance. Because I think guys like Lawrence is obviously gone. Wilson will probably be the second quarterback off the board, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be guys like Fields or Lance will be there. So I don't think we're taking a quarterback at all. I actually think we're probably going to stay there, but if they can get a really good deal to trade back and acquire more picks, I'm all for it, man. Because they can just keep loading up and acquire more draft capital, because that's what Holmes obviously likes to do here. So this is good. This is a good thing for the Lions. They are in perfect spot for a nice trade.
Absolutely. I think they were in a phenomenal spot last year, but they couldn't get anybody to bite on Tua, the whole Tua thing. And we had just the disaster artist. What was the quote, man? You're tearing me apart. That's how it was, man. The worst movie I've ever seen, the worst actor in the face. That's what the Bob Quinn was last year, man. I think they had no hope. But we've got people. Thank you guys for being patient and blowing up these phone lines. I'm going to try to take you in the order that I remember. So we have John, who called before. When you hear unmuted, that means you are up. And we are going to continue this. John, how you doing, buddy? We got John.
Hey guys, how are you?
What's up, John? How you doing, man?
Good, big fan of the show. I always
Appreciate
enjoy listening.
I appreciate that, man. What you got for the panel, bro?
So my thoughts were, now I feel like it's underrated now, but nobody's talking about the Anthony Lynn hiring and how important I think that's going to be for Swift's development moving forward. So I could see us as a run first, like power rush, 20 to 30 carries a game for Swift. And I think that could set Goff up well, because remember when Todd Gurley was at his top, Todd Gurley allowed Goff to be really good. So I feel like if you can utilize Swift the right way, this offense could be back to what it was the year they went to the Super Bowl. I think that's what Goff missed when he was in LA.
Okay.
Like last year.
All right. So you think that Anthony Lynn is going to be a big part of the development in DeAndre Swift?
Yeah, I feel like he's going to do what Patricia didn't do, and that was use his potential.
Yeah.
Like, Swift's very talented.
But hey, bro, John, what did Patricia do? He did absolutely nothing. He had the worst defense I've ever seen. So he didn't do anything. But I do agree that Anthony Lynn is going to be a huge step up and really, really utilize. I mean, even Adrian Peterson said, hey, Why isn't this kid started? Like, you got me as an old man. You know, I'm 35, 36. I'm trying to run till I'm 100. But you gonna let me? You know what I mean? So I agree with you, bro. I agree with you, man. But hey, listen, we got a whole plethora of calls. John, I appreciate you, man. Make sure you tune in on Thursday to MicroMike Show and next Tuesday for more Spiked Kool-Aid, man. I appreciate the call.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, man. Phone lines are blowing up. I appreciate that. We're going to take a couple more calls because I did not have the number up there, and we're going to go in the order that you called. We have someone who is on the line. Remember, when you hear unmuted, it's going to be on you. Who do we got calling today?
This is John Kapler. What's going on,
John,
guys?
what's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Johnny?
Not much. I thought it was kind of funny. It says from West Bloomfield. I am nowhere in West Bloomfield. Gotta love the phone system.
Well, that's good, man. That's actually a great thing. But what you got for us, man?
But anyways, I wanted to get in before I had to head back on the machines.
Right.
We're talking about trading back out of 7. What if, I mean, with what we have, I mean, we got to do a lot on defense, and with Goff, we need a running game. What about if we got 2 guys from Alabama? Najee Harris and Christian Barmore.
So that means are they there at 7 though?
You gotta trade back.
They'd be there at 7, but we trade back to get those guys. Najee could fall back in the 2nd, and we could trade back and we could get Barmore. Hell, Barmore could even be in the 2nd.
Okay. All right, John. Well, listen,
we
man.
trade back, we get picks.
Okay, but if we do that, go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Oh,
man.
no. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say if we do that, like, I'm really buying this retool thing. And with Matthew Stafford being gone, John, I'm saying this dude's kind of, because everybody was like, okay, get rid of Stafford. We're gonna throw the year in the trash. And I was screaming, get a quarterback. Yep. You know what I mean? And Jared Goff is saying, hey, you can win with Jared Goff. So I'm
put a running game behind him.
Absolutely, man. Sheesh. All right, John, but look, man, you get back to work and keep listening in, bro. We're going to let the panel answer that.
All right, sounds
appreciate
good,
that.
Guys. Thank you.
John is the man. John Kapler, man. Appreciate that. Mike, what do you think, man? What do you think about those 2 guys from Alabama?
I like Barmore. Hey, if you want to set the defensive line, put that big boy right there and stop that run. And what do? You want to run the football, and that's what you would get with Najee Harris. I don't think that's a bad idea. When you're doing in my opinion, when you're doing a rebuild and you have picks, take the best available player, regardless of position, unless it's a tight end, in my opinion right now, a kicker and a punter. Just take the best player available. If Barmore is the best player available, you live and die by the trenches. I love my defensive linemen. I love it. That's my favorite thing in the world. You get these defensive guys, defensive linemen, stop that run. You're going to be happy. And if they really want to do this insane running style, Swift and Harris, oh my God.
Absolutely. Now, Mark, I saw you jumped in with Barmore, man. What do you think, buddy?
I really like that guy, man. That guy, I think, personally, to me, is like the closest guy to Ndamukong Suh coming out. I really like him a lot, man, coming out of Alabama, man. That guy tore it apart in the national championship game. Like, he was all over the field.
Yeah, they was all everywhere. Over.
Yeah, he was everywhere, man. Penetrating the line, getting to the quarterback, making plays, knocking down passes, knocking everybody around. He's a really good football player. And Najee Harris would be nice to pair up, but I'm kind of in that camp that I don't think we should be going for a running back that early, because he's probably going to go in the 2nd round, I would say.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, Mark, if we get him, I mean, we know what Brad's trying. I keep wanting to call the dude Bob. Why did he have to have a B name, bro? Like, seriously, he could have had he could have been Chris Chad. You know, it doesn't matter, but he had to have another B name. But
it's called
man. Yeah, I know. Just call it exactly. But if he does that, man, then I really feel like, Mark, that he said retool, and we like, it's a rebuild. And I know, Mark, you kind of still high on the rebuild, but if he does this right, he might be looking at a retool. I really think he's trying to retool this team.
100%, man. Like, I think he's really trying to do that as well. But he even said it, Brad Holmes, on his thing. He goes, I don't want to call this a rebuild, so I'm going to call it a retool. So basically, you're just saying, okay, it is a rebuild, but you just don't want to say it, bro. Like you know what I mean?
That's
and
how
that's
I felt
fine.
at first, but
yeah,
you know,
and that's fine. And
Yeah.
that's fine. But yeah, this is a total rebuild, man. Like for me, this is, man, because you got a whole new quarterback. You're going to have a whole new system. And, you know, even Dan Campbell's like, you know, I want to run the football. This is a rebuild, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, if you guys think about it, if they want to run the football, you better play some defense and you better sustain a lead. Because I think it's going to be
either one we could do.
Yes. So, like, I think it's going to be really, really tough, man, to just say, hey, man, we're going to go get this running back and we're going to do this. We're going to run the ball 20, 30 times. No, because I think this defense is just right now on paper. What we have right now is garbage, guys.
It's trash. Were we 32? Were we
32? Dead last. Like, bro, we were dead last in almost every category statistically for defense.
So we're 31 last year and 32
this year.
this year.
Yes. And like 31 in creating turnovers. Like we just didn't do anything right. Like we didn't do
absolute
nothing.
worst.
Yeah, we didn't do nothing right. So everybody says, hey man, let's run the ball. No, okay, then you better play defense and you better score points. Okay, so that's the only way to run the football. You can't just say, hey, I want to run the ball, man. You have to be able to play some D in this league, man.
And Mark, you can't forget it's got to be a strong D as well. It's got to be a strong D, man.
Hey, it's got to be one of those.
Got to be one of those, buddy.
I mean, you got to play like you have 11 men on the field, not 10.
Exactly.
Yes,
so,
sir.
Hey, man, listen, the talking about the defense literally made me laugh. It was the funniest thing ever. But listen, guys, you guys are awesome, man. The phone lines are exploding, and that's what we want. So we're going to move on to the next segment. If we got enough time, we'll leave the last 20 minutes or so for nothing but phone calls. So I appreciate you guys. You can stay on the line or you can call back in about 20 minutes or so. So I thank you guys so much. Appreciate it, man. This is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to this thing to be. So we have moved into hour number 2 of this thing right now, and we're going to keep this thing rolling. Thank you guys so much. We're going to move on to the next part. And guys, Jared Goff, man, he's just been getting. Now, remember, this guy took this team to the Super Bowl. But before that, to answer Travis's comment, he says, what if McVay isn't a guru? What if he was the reason Jared Goff had regression in play? Well, there's something we can't talk about on this show as to the reason maybe Jared Goff is no longer there. But man, that was crazy. It had something to do with Super Mario Brothers, and it has something to do with World 2. But hey, what do you think it could have been, guys, as far as Jared Goff's regression in LA? Mike, what you think it could be, man?
Yeah, I don't think those two got along too well. Once some things came out about pipe dreams, I think that pretty much shattered the relationship there. And when you have that happen, of course you're going to regress.
Absolutely. When you're nervous, you're going to get yanked out of the game at any minute, man. Oh man, what a disaster.
It's a funny story, and of course they're not going to get along. Look, everybody has made Jared Goff to look like he is some guy in a coma who's mouth breather, who licks windows and eats crayons for fun. They have made the bar so low for this guy that if he comes out and scores a touchdown in the first half of a game, they're going to think he's the second coming, and it's going to be the return of Ryan Tannehill going to the Tennessee Titans.
Oh yeah,
I don't look. They didn't giving this guy no chance.
No chance.
This dude's won playoff games and been to a Super Bowl, while Matthew Stafford haven't won a playoff game.
Yeah,
and if you look at the stats, it's very similar to Stafford's.
Yeah, we're gonna get in that. We got to get on that. Mike. Absolutely.
Look, when it comes to offense, you can either there's ways to win football games. You can be pass happy and be this team that's thrown a bunch of yards and winning. We've had that for 12 years. We have thrown the football. You want to know what we need to do is run the football, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
and so if you can run the football and Jared Goff can hand the ball off and just be decent, you should win football games. Either way, you're getting the yards and you're getting touchdowns. But this concept that they have just destroyed this guy. This guy, literally, one excuse I heard, he's never been out of California. He went to high school there, college, and now he's there. Now he's got to go to Detroit. Didn't I hear the same thing about Justin Herbert? He never left the West Coast. look, they are adults and pro players. You don't think he hears the disrespect? I think he's going to have a little bit of fire in him, just a little bit. Are we going to win? Probably not. Is he going to be a failure? Probably. But my God, I mean, we've made this guy look like the worst quarterback since Dan Orlowski run out of an end zone.
Well, Mike, tell us how you really feel, man. Tell us how you really feel, man. I don't think he's going to be a failure, but Mark, what do you think, man? Why do you think Jared Goff had regression in his time, the last 2 years? It seems like he's never been the same after that Super Bowl loss. Why do you think he's regressed, man?
I don't really know what's going on. Like what happened to him in LA. Like what we say, like, you know, pipe dreams will have maybe a little bit of something to do with it. And I don't really think that though, man. Have you seen Sean McVay's woman?
I have.
So
Makes
it's like,
want to play a little bit of Super Mario. I did see it.
And you know what? Shame on you, because that was supposedly a team text. And
I know.
Shame on you, football. Yeah. It's shame on your teammates for sharing that. By the way,
that was I mean, no Lord. And it, you know what, guys? It makes me wonder. Like, did they not like this guy? Because
maybe that's a possibility, bro. Yeah.
Soon as the trade stuff came out, I mean, boom, the next day, anonymous source and some leak stuff. But I don't want to get too much into that because then we'll have to put the age restriction on this video, and we don't want to have to do that. But you know what? That takes us to our next point here, which is going to be the second to last topic of the show. Appreciate the phone lines, man. You can stay on. If you stay on, I'll answer in the order that you are currently. If you hang up and you call back, then I'll try to remember what you got in the order of which you guys call. Now, we talked about this and we elaborated, but let's dig deep into this thing. Jared Goff, man. Jared Goff is getting dissed, absolutely obliterated by Detroit Lions fans like he's nothing. And Matthew Stafford is the greatest quarterback to never win anything. Okay. And Jared Goff is a loser. That's the way it is. And I think it's a little bit of homer going on in there. I don't think Jared Goff is a great quarterback, but then neither is Matthew Stafford. So to me, it seems like that there's a lot of homer going in, and a lot of people just don't want to see. They rather root for Matthew Stafford with the LA Rams than root and embrace the guy that was traded for him, the guy who wants to be in Detroit and be wanted. Matthew Stafford was beloved, and he wanted to get out of Dodge. So, Mike, why do you think Jared Goff is getting a fair chance from Detroit Lions fans?
No, man, I think this guy is getting destroyed beyond belief. It's insane, really, to see, because Matthew Stafford was getting traded. Who was going to come in off the street right now, if we don't trade for a quarterback? Who's going to come off the street? We're talking Fitzpatrick. We're talking, Tyrod Taylor, maybe a Jameis Winston. You're telling me that these guys are better than Jared Goff? No. I mean, no. Come on. The guy's won playoff games and been to a Super Bowl. Is he the greatest thing? No. But you traded your quarterback who hasn't done anything. You get a bunch of picks and you get Jared Goff, and this guy is just getting slapped in the face like he never played a game of football in his life. It's insane, man. Like I told fans, when Sheila became the new quote-unquote owner, everybody ragged on her and said, oh, she's not going to fire these guys. I said, give her a chance. They did it. And then as soon as the new general manager, Brad Holmes, came in here, he made his speech. Everyone dogged on him. Give him a chance. Dan Campbell hired his head coach. Everyone said, why would they do that? They hear him speech. Give him a chance. Folks, give him a chance. The guy has not even played one down. We can't destroy the guy as of right now. Give him a chance. There's nothing else that should be said. Just give him a chance.
You know what, Mike, and we'll go to Mark. I feel like for us, it's kind of in our blood, man. Like we just decimate this dude. You wouldn't have thought that 2 years ago he was playing in a Super Bowl. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, they're playing against the Patriots, right? Aren't they playing? Didn't they play against the Patriots for that Super Bowl? Who did they play? Yeah, when Goff was in the Super Bowl, who did they play against? But whoever it was,
he's there. Patriots, I think
he's there. Matthew Stafford. We want to put it on the team, and I agree with that. I agree that we can put it on the team. But why are we so negative to Jared Goff? Jared Goff is our quarterback. We need to, as T.O. said, that's my quarterback. Matthew Stafford is no longer our quarterback. So, Mark, why do you think that Jared Goff is getting such – I mean, why do you think Detroit Lions fans aren't giving this kid a chance?
The two hardest things to be in Detroit sports, a goalie and the quarterback.
Facts.
It's true. It's been true since I've been born. It's true since I've been a fan. So, Detroit Lions fans, yes, like they are destroying him right now. There's a lot of people that think that this guy's a bag of garbage. And listen, we have to give him a chance. Like Mike said, give the man a chance. I'm not a huge fan of the kid, but I want him to succeed. And I don't think he is that, like, talent level wise, like I said before, with him at Stafford, I don't think it's really a downgrade. I don't think it's an upgrade, downgrade. I'm kind of on the fence with it.
Kind of a lateral move.
Kind of a lateral move
side to
me.
side. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a lateral move to me. I think if I was going to go any type of way, I'd say it's a slight downgrade, but nothing out of the ordinary where, oh my God, we don't have a chance with Jared Goff.
Right.
Because I think we have a good chance. It's just that our situation right now with him, I think a lot of it might have to do with who is he going to throw the ball to? That's a big thing right now, because we've talked about it. We have Quintez Cephas, and like I think Geronimo Allison is on the roster.
Yeah.
And TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Maybe Hunter Bryant. So are they going to maybe I just don't know what they're going to do. But like Lions fans, they this has been a common theme. This is just a common theme since I've been a kid. They just love to dump on everything, and they don't like to give anybody chances. It's true. Like we're still talking about guys from 20 years ago sometimes.
Yeah.
Lions fans, like, you know what I mean? And we're still saying, but like you have to give Jared Goff a chance. He's not a horrible quarterback, man. He can sling the rock.
I think, Mark, we could be much worse. Like let's
way
look
worse.
At this. Let's look at this. Matthew Stafford. Now, okay, because I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. After this week, I don't have anything to say about Matthew Stafford. If Matthew Stafford says something about my team and my city, then I'll talk about him. Okay, but he has now become my adversary. Okay, we played them this year. I'm going to be rooting for my team. I don't care about he played for us for 12 years and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. He gave it all this. That's over with. Okay. Now, yes, the Lions could have said, Matt, we trying to move on, man. All right. So how do you feel? Hey, I want to move on too. Then you're like, all right, it's mutual. Okay. Or he could have said, hey, because let's be real. Before the coach and the GM was hired, this man said, I don't want to be here. I already knew that before. So right when Matt Patricia was fired, Matthew Stafford was like, I'm gone. He gone. Okay. And so for me, it's like, we got to move on. Matthew Stafford has done that. Kelly already, she running in like the Sound of Music. I can't wait to go to, LA Hills. Here we come, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, they ain't think about us. We got to move on, man. We got to move on. But talking about our quarterback, one Jared Goff, who said he wants to be here. We're going to take a look at. Here's the thing, guys. If we look at Jared Goff and his whole situation and numbers. Now, the dude has only been in the league for what? He's going on his 6th year. I mean, yes, he's got a high touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, that's up to hit. The best year that it looks like he had was maybe 2017, 2018, which is the year he went to the Super Bowl. Okay. First year, he only played a couple games. I think it was 7. And last year, not too bad. I would like to see, fellas, what I would like to see from Jared Goff is I would like to see him lower that interception ratio. That's what I want to see. Mike, what do you feel about Jared Goff? Why do you feel like help Lions fans to possibly see what kind of quarterback you have here?
Look, he's not Matthew Stafford. We got to stop comparing him to Matthew Stafford. We got to understand that the Detroit Lions are changing the philosophy that we have been doing for many years. That's passing the football. We're going to be a more balanced team that's run first, in my opinion. He's complementary to that. 3,804 yards, 4,688, 4,638, and almost 4,000 last year with the broken relationship with the head coach. What do you want to get? If we have to get 400 yards and offense on a game, how do you want to get the 400 yards? Do you want to get it by 400 yards passing, or do you want to get it by, I don't know, 250 yards passing and 150 yards rushing. Still, you're getting the 400 yards, and I think Jared Goff can do that 250. I think he can give you a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's called balance. We haven't seen it. We're used to this gunslinger mentality. We're used to this concept where we have to throw the ball to win the game. This narrative is changing. We need a guy who can just hold the fort down, hand the ball off, play action when need be, get a first down on 3rd and 2. I think that's what he's going to bring. And in my opinion, that's perfectly fine. People say, well, look at his contract. Guess what, folks? Who did the contract? It wasn't us. You can't blame the guy for signing the contract. Shoot,
right.
You give me that money, I'm going to sign it.
Absolutely.
I'm terrible. So like, come on, guys.
Absolutely.
I was hating on him for that.
Yeah.
I think because he's not what we're used to, Mike. We got like some of us have a tough time with change. I mean, in real life, I have a very difficult time with change. Matthew Stafford, this hurts, man. But at the same time, when it's kind of like a divorce. When you get a divorce, you like, oh man, that's when all the stuff come out that you might not have said before. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of stuff gonna come out about Stafford, man. A lot of people, you might see some sneak texts or some anonymous texts about stuff that Matthew Stafford might have said or done. I don't know. That has yet to be seen. But Mike, Mark, man, Jared Goff, I know you're not high on him. You're not very high on him, bro. But we could have worse. It could be worse.
It could be worse. And there's a couple things that concern me about Jared Goff. Okay, his interceptions, yes. Okay, we've already kind of touched on that.
Yeah,
it's his fumbles, guys. He fumbles the ball a lot. He averages like 8+ fumbles a year, and that's where the little joke comes into play about the baby hands. It's a reality, guys. It's something that I never made up. I never made that up. That was what happened when he came into the combine in 2016. It was his hand size, and he does fumble the ball a lot. He has to hold on to the football because he has led the league, or he's been second in the league in turnovers since like 2017. Yes, and that's including interceptions and fumbles, and that's what concerns me the most about him. Hello?
Yes, and look, of course, turnovers is definitely something that you got to pay attention to, obviously. And what's great about this Goff situation, folks, if you win, if he does good, guess what? That's good. If he doesn't do good, guess what? We got a ton of draft picks, and we're probably going to take a quarterback at some point, whether it be this year, next year. Either way, it's a win-win. No one expects us to win next year. Nobody expects us to win next year. So guess what? It's a win either way. Win, win, win. All we do is win, even when we lose.
Absolutely. And I think Brad Holmes, man, I think you got to kind of respect what he's doing here, because a lot of people didn't think we're going to win. We have an absolutely brutal schedule. If you guys haven't seen it, we don't know when we're going to play the teams, but we do know we play the Rams. Well, we play, I think if I heard correctly, 10 playoff teams. So it is going to be an extraordinarily long year, but this is not a year that us real Lions fans, the guys that actually look and say, hey, we're not going to win this year. We're not going to win. And if you expect us to win, then, that's going to be on you. But at the same time, I believe that Brad is like, listen, I don't want to be in the toilet. I'm tired. I mean, and then you had Dan Campbell come in and say, we're going to kick you in the teeth. We're going to bite a kneecap off, which means that we're not going to lay down and take these losses. He said, I can't promise you wins and losses. Like I can't, but I will promise you that we're going to fight. And I love that, man. I love that. So for me, I don't know why people are doing Jared Goff like that. I think, like I said, fellas, it's the fact that Jared Goff is new. He's the toy that he sucks. He's the worst thing we've ever seen. And we're defending Stafford. Like, people got to let Stafford go. Stafford is everything but officially gone. He's already checked out 3 years ago. And last Saturday, he said, I want to be done. Okay, so he's in essence saying, I've done all I can for you. I can't do any more. So we've got to take this guy. We've got to give him a chance. The same way you defended Stafford. This guy has been to a Super Bowl, okay, against arguably the greatest quarterback and the greatest coach of all time. So we gotta give this guy a chance. Mike, I don't understand. Now, Mark, I mean, I know you're not high on Goff, and I know that you don't want to take, but what do you hope to see from Jared Goff this year? I know you said the fumbles, but he's got to turn down. What do you hope to see from Jared Goff this year?
I just hope for him, the fumbles he has to definitely cut down. I just want to see some progression, because he did have a little bit of regression his last year and a half in LA. I just want to see him play some smart football for this team. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't want to really see him put on a cape and try to win football games for us, because I don't know if he's going to be able to do that just yet, because I don't know how the roster is going to look. I just want him to be a smart quarterback. Be smart, and hey, man, he's going to have to be tough mentally and physically if he's going to want to be a Detroit Lions quarterback, because the fan base is going to come tear him apart. The media is going to tear him apart. It's, some of us might tear him apart.
Man, listen, our fan base is like Cujo, bro. Like, we've never won anything. We had the greatest running back, the greatest receiver, the greatest statistical Lions quarterback, and our fan base is it's funny, man, because of stuff we don't tolerate, but at the same time, we are just so okay with throwing Jared Goff in the trash. All right, so make sure you guys check and make sure you sub to MicroMike. And this guy sitting right beneath me, Mark ORUM'S Forum. We are part of Infinite Sports Network, and we are trying to bring you the most quality sports information out there. So make sure you do that. Mike, go ahead and put that in the chat so I can do that there. We're going to move on to some phone calls now, and then we're going to enter the last segment of the show. Thank you, guys. These guys have been on this line for the last half hour, which is something I love to see. Guys. So when you hear unmuted, that means it is on you. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds. We got a caller right now. Who do we have on the line here?
Tyler Black from Motor City Podcast.
What's up, Tyler? What's going on, Tyler?
Nothing much. Been listening in. It's been a good podcast so far.
Appreciate that, man. Always good to hear good things. So what you got for the panel, man?
Well, I believe that Stafford, he gave up on our team. He really did. I think it was after the Patricia hiring that Stafford just said, forget about this. I'm out the door.
Yeah, I can see that. So you're saying that you think, so is that after Jim Caldwell, or do you think it took maybe a little bit of time for him to form that opinion about Matt Patricia?
I think after Patricia got hired and then we started playing badly, that's when Stafford said, forget about this. I'm done. I don't want another rebuild. And adios, I go.
I can see that. And I've been thinking that for a long time. I've been thinking about this guy that we got on the line. He's got his own YouTube channel as well. Tyler, go ahead and plug your channel since you're on with us today.
It is Motor City Podcast. That is my channel.
All right.
Motor City Podcast.
Fantastic. Make sure you try. Hey, Tyler, it's always good to have more Lions fans doing YouTube, man. It's always a good thing. Appreciate the call, my friend.
Yep, you too. Anytime you want to talk Lions, Grid, I'm there.
All right, fantastic. Always great to hear, man. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you. All right, that was Tyler Black, Motor City Sportscast. Make sure you guys podcast. Make sure you guys check out the channel. We've got a couple other guys. When you hear unmuted, it is on you. We've got Kevin Walker. What's going on, KF?
No, that's not Kevin Walker.
Well, it's not Kevin Walker. Okay. All right. Well, who we got on the line?
Think of the last name Walker.
Okay. Last name's Walker.
First name Ty.
Oh, Ty. What's good, man? What's going on, man?
What's good?
What's going on?
Nothing much.
All right, we on the line with a Chiefs fan, man, calling in, trying to harass the Lions fans. What's going on, Ty?
Nothing much. Hey, I got a couple of questions for you before I get to my questions. Hey, I'm loving this podcast you're doing. It's the first episode I've watched of it, and I'm loving it. Great.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, first question. So obviously 2018 Jared Goff pretty much harassed the Chiefs in that upsetting loss that we took to them. Do you think we could see some performances out of Jared Goff just like that, where he just had unbelievable numbers that game.
I mean, well, you talking to that's my new quarterback. So of course I'm gonna say yes. Of course I'm gonna say yes. That's my new quarterback, man. So I gotta say yes, but I think overall he needs to be in the right system. Now, Ty, go ahead, get all your questions out so we can answer them and then move on to the next caller. What's the other question that you have, buddy?
Well, so obviously you guys got 2 first round picks and a third out of it. Do you think that's like over what you think that you're gonna get Grid or MICROMIKE or Mark, or do you think this is the perfect amount of stuff that you guys got?
Mike, what you think, man?
Oh man, I think we got more than I expected. I mean, I don't think anyone expected to get 3 picks and a player. I was thinking a first and a third. That was kind of the concept I was going with. When I heard that we got the amount that we did, I feel like we hosed them.
Hosed them. Well, there actually is a reason why you guys got an extra first. It's actually an untold NFL trade secret.
All right. Well, Ty, we gonna move on, man, because we got the phone lines blowing up, bro.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, thanks for letting me on.
Absolutely. Ty Walker, that dude puts in work for my channel, man. I appreciate him, and thank you for the call as well. Mike, did you put that in, buddy? Because I'm looking for it.
Yes, I put it in there.
Put it in again, man. Put it in again,
Put it
man.
in again, folks.
Put it in
This
again.
is my YouTube channel. I am a partner of Chat Sports, part of ISN, do Detroit Lions content. On
Every
Thursday,
day.
it's called the One Pride Podcast at 6:30 p.m. EST. We do a similar type of show. The Gridiron Blitz and the rest of the folks of ISN get on there. It's a little bit different, but hey, if you like having a great time and asking questions, we try to answer and have a show that's kind of a little bit fun there.
Because this dude is just at the cusp of, what is it, Mike, that you're almost
12K.
That's
I am
right.
at the cusp of 12K.
At the
100
cusp.
more to go.
100 more to go, and you could be one of those guys to help that out. So make sure you subscribe to both MICROMIKE, which is the pinned comment, Mark ORUM. Don't be lazy. Go down in the description and subscribe to that gentleman as well. All right, phone lines are now open. We are on the conclusion, the bottom. We're coming around the back end of the show. And who do we have in here today? Don't forget, unmuted means that I'm calling on you, and you, my friend, are unmuted. Who am I talking to?
The Gridiron Blitz. What's going on from Boston?
That's my name, and I know who this is. I know who this is because I would not be good if I didn't. What's going on, Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk? What's up, man?
What's up, guys? What's going on, Mark? What's going on, Mike? What up, guys? What's going on?
Bro?
What's going
What's
on,
up,
man?
buddy? But now, usually you call you notice a family-friendly show, my dude. So usually you call and you harassing us Lions fans with the leftovers, Patricia, who's back on your team, by the way. So you can't say too much now.
I mean, I could have made my entrance with the Detroit Lions fans, aka Patriots Central.
Hey, not for long, sir. This dude that I'm talking to is the soon-to-be king of Boston sports, man. Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk. Make sure you guys check out his channel. He does live streams. Boston Patriots dude, man. Make sure you check. Nothing but love for this guy. What you got for us, Bobby?
No, I just have one question for you guys, and I want to hear your response because it's kind of a rank question.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you guys some positions, and in order of importance, I want you to rank them that you think Detroit should draft them in. All right.
Well, I feel like this is a quiz,
receiver.
I feel like it's Jeopardy. Is this Jeopardy, Bobby, or what?
I want to hear what you guys think.
Okay.
I want to hear what you guys have to say, and then I'll give you mine first, and then I'll listen to you. So the 4 are wide receiver, defensive line, linebacker, and running back. Now, I think this is just me from an outsider's point of view. Looking in, I would go defensive line, linebacker, running back, wide receiver. What would you guys go?
Okay. Well, Bobby, thank you for the call, man. We got a couple more people in the line, and we'll answer that. But Bobby, thanks for the call, man.
I'll hang up and listen to your response.
Fantastic.
I'll hang up and listen to your response. Thank you, guys. Keep up the great work.
Hey, thank you, sir. Bobby, Butcher's Block and Patriots Talk was in the building, man. All right. Okay, Mike, what do you think, man?
Oh man,
that's it's deep. It's deep. We got a lot of needs. We got a lot of needs.
Linebacker, defensive tackle, defensive end, wide receiver, safety, right tackle, quarterback.
So, Mike, you're essentially saying the whole team, the whole entire squad.
Best player available. We need
defense.
best player available. But I think the linebacking core is the biggest hole on the team. With that said, I'm taking the best player available because there's so many holes. But linebacking core is it's the worst my eyes have ever seen. And man, I take my glasses off just so I see a blur.
Sometimes I can't. Yeah, sometimes I just pretend to watch.
Now, Mark, Mike is saying the entire defense, man. Is there any difference with you at all, or do you feel like that Mike was spot on?
Mike was pretty much spot on, man. He's pretty much spot on. He said it like it is right there. But out of those four, I would say definitely linebacker number one. If we're just picking these four, linebacker number one, defensive tackle. We need wide receivers, and I think we can wait on a running back.
Yeah,
that's how I would go, because linebacking core, like Mike said, is just pure garbage, unwatchable. There's just nobody. Even Jamie Collins wasn't even good this year. So there was nobody good in that linebacking core. With the D line, we had a couple. Nice guys. If we could sign Romeo back, would be really nice. All depends what he's asking for. I think we got Penasini, strong Penasini, and then
it's good. That's the only way to be, Mark. Only way to be.
Yeah, and then we definitely need wide receivers and running backs. So those are the four I'm going to choose: linebacker, D line, wide receiver, running back.
I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go D line, linebacker, wide receiver, running back. I feel like we might be able to pick up some quality guys in free agency. Robinson, he might want out. I don't know if we can sign him, financially, but I'm confident that Brad. I mean, this dude went $10 million over the cap. Mike's got a video or talked about maybe how he can get that down. So I am going to go in that order. I don't think any of the current receivers, wide receivers, are going to be back. I don't think any of them. Danny Amendola, 1-year deal, he's gone. Even though he did, throw a right hook at the Patriot organization, which I kind of dug that. But I think he's gone. I think that Galladay's gone. I think we signed Romeo. And Marvin Jones Jr. is all but gone. I mean, he just, he tweeting and everything. So I think he's going to go to LA. Yeah, he wants to go to LA, play with Stafford. So I think that. So, Bobby, I hope that answers your question. All right, we got time for a few more phone calls and we'll wrap up. Make sure you check out Thursday, 6:30 EST for the One Pride podcast hosted by this guy this way, MicroMike, who it puts on an awesome show, man. Make sure you guys tune in for that. Now, we've got an unmuted person. What's going on? Who are we talking to? Uh-oh. Did I meet?
Hey, Grid. What's going on? Hey, Grid.
What's up, man? Hey, who am I talking to here?
This is BF. I'm a regular on your stream.
BF, man. What's going on, man? What's going on, BF? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so glad I can finally call in and talk.
Absolutely. What you got for the panel, man?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say, I'm digging this trade. I really am. I'm digging the Jared Goff trade. I really think he's going to help out the Lions, and I think y'all will be in the playoffs next year. That's what I think.
Ooh, that is a quantum leap, my friend. Now that's one of them you may never come home leaps. So you got to tell us why you're going from as far as the playoffs. I know we got another game. They've got 7 teams in each conference, but you got to tell the people, why do you think that is?
Well, first it depends on who the receivers are. Whoever they get back Goff, go behind Goff. But if they get a good receiving core, if they get a couple of the Rams receivers, let's say, like a Woods or somebody like that, I think it could be a good match for them. And then, of course, running the ball. I mean, they ran the ball with Gurley when Goff was in LA. They ran the ball with Akers when Goff was in LA. So I think this is the perfect attack with Dan Campbell and Jared Goff.
Wow. Okay. But we still need a defense though, BF. We still need a defense, man. Ranked 32 last year. We got to upgrade that.
Maybe it's J.J. Watt since you couldn't get Deshaun Watson.
Oh, okay. And, it depending if J.J.
I know you all probably were going to get. You probably were going to get Deshaun, and since you can't get Deshaun, maybe you get J.J.
Okay. Hey, well, I don't know, man. Anything to make this team better. But BF, man, it's great to hear you, brother. Thank you for all your time in the stream, man, and thank you for the call today.
Yeah, I'll see you Sunday, man.
Absolutely. Super Bowl Sunday. Absolutely. We are on the vodcast with MICROMIKE to my left over here. And Mark Orem from ORUM'S Forum. We've got a couple minutes left, and we've got a couple phone calls. But before that, we've got Butcher's Block says, incoming hot take with that. Yep. That's a quantum leap, man. And I don't think he ever returned home. I don't think. But shout out to BF, man. Appreciate that as well. Now we've got a dude that's called into this show before. What's going on, John? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, what's up? Long time no see.
What's up, man? What is good with you? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
So with you guys saying that linebacker was the top part of that 4 list that he gave you, outside of Parsons, not in the first round, obviously, who are your guys that you want at linebacker in the draft? Thank you.
Oh, okay. I'm not laughing at you, man. I'm laughing at a funny thing that was told to me, bro. Shout out to John. John's been rolling with me for a while. Now I'm gonna let Mike do his thing. This is his forte, and I know Mark is in it as well. This ain't really my thing, man. I'm more of a, I'm getting into the draft and diving into college. So Mike and Mark, help out John. John is saying if Parsons is gone, who are we taking at linebacker?
Ooh, I mean, I think if Parsons gone, there's many different routes he can go in the second round. Dylan Moses, I think he will be there. He's dropping quite a bit, and I would like him there as well. If they went that route, maybe in the third round someone falls, but I think Micah Parsons would be a great player to get. I love Micah Parsons. He's my favorite non-quarterback in this year's draft. Mark is high on him like I am.
Yeah.
You get your quarterback on offense with Goff right now, and you get your quarterback on defense with Parsons. That would be sick. But I'd look at Dylan Moses. If you're there in the second round, maybe we trade back, get another second round pick too. So maybe look for him.
All right, Mark, what's your thoughts, man?
I'm liking the kid out of Zaven Collins too. I like that linebacker too a lot. He's really good. The kid out of Notre Dame, his name kind of is it Koromora Oswu? Is that how you say his name?
I don't know how, but I just believe that how you said it is how you say it.
I think I think someone said it right here too. But I actually really like Gregory Rousseau, the defensive end out of Miami, the Miami Hurricanes. That kid's like 6'7", 280 plus pounds, maybe even bigger, with a wingspan like a pterodactyl. I really like him coming off that edge if we're going to go defensive end or just defense in general. I'm really torn between Parsons and Russo right now, but Parsons with the lead for me. But Zaven Collins, man, is a great linebacker coming out too as well.
All right, thank you guys for that. We've got one more phone call. A member of mine, Josiah, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, man? Not much. Just got done with some schoolwork, focusing on this last little start of school, man. But I'm doing good, you know. How you guys doing?
We're doing well, man. Just talking about some Lions football, man. Some Spiked Kool-Aid, trying to get excited for hopefully what's a better season than before. Not too much, but what's your thoughts, man? What you got for the panel?
This is my thoughts. My thoughts are, one, definitely get Micah Parsons at 7. We need a linebacker. Like, Tavai is cool, but our linebackers have been in for way too long. So Micah Parsons, if he's there, you get him. Now, listen, we should probably try, if we can't get Kevin Galladay back, or like Marvin Jones or something like that. I mean, look at Juju Smith is out there. He's a free agent in 2021. Why not try to see if we can get him? He didn't have that great of a season this year. Maybe Detroit could be a spot where he could, get a respark, with Jared Goff, two comeback players, and they make something happen. That'd be a good weapon to have. Because it's like, now we got Jared Goff. Okay, now we got to have weapons for him.
Yeah.
If we don't have weapons for him, I mean, yeah, he's going to turn the ball over, but he's definitely going to fumble. Because, he likes those quick passes. He's going to need a slot guy. Yep. So that would be a perfect piece for him. So I'm just saying, man, Juju Smith, if he's out there, I don't want the dude from the Bengals. He's way too hurt. I don't want him. I don't want him on our squad. So he's, Juju's still young and he has a lot he can give. So if we can try to get him, man, I think that'd be a good move.
That'd be crazy, man. You're not the only Lions fan that has said something about Juju. I don't know, man. Juju seems like he might bring some bad juju to this team, man. Dancing and getting cracked and all that stuff. So I don't know.
TikToks too much.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's the problem with these young boys today, man. They need to be taught some lessons. Yeah.
He's a talent, though.
Hey, but is that so bad? It brings a little bit of life, though. Come on now, think about Dominican Q. He brought that bad boyish vibe to the defense. And I thought that was nice, man.
Yeah, but Ndamukong was dirty, bro. Ndamukong was a dirty dude. People like to make
he was dirty.
He was very dirty. Absolutely.
Dirty.
Yeah.
He was dirty.
Yeah. He was filthy. He was nasty.
Was still dirty too in a good way.
Absolutely. Well, hey, we got a long off season, man. Josiah, man. Appreciate the call, and I appreciate everything you do for me, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
All right, no problem. Hey, that's my man, Josiah. Haven't seen him in a minute. Travis with the super chat says, what do you think about the NFL is investigating tampering with Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff trade, and do you anything will become of it? Well, Mike, I know you mentioned something early in the show about a potential tampering, but it's very early. What do you think, man, to answer Travis's question?
I hope so. That would be great if we get another draft pick. With that said, we are the Lions, and things never go on our side when it comes to Detroit. It always goes against us. 10 years ago, we got hit with tampering because we mentioned a player's name, lost a draft pick. These guys are having lunch, eating food, playing hopscotch, playing some bingo and stuff. So they better lose the draft pick because I'd love to have another one.
Hey, well, they saying it's a coincidence.
Beautiful.
They saying, Mark, they're saying it's a coincidence, bro.
Well, yeah.
I'm in Cabo, you're in Cabo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hey, man, we'll meet up at the Tiki Hut over here. For sure, man. Yeah, a total coincidence that those two guys, those families were in Cabo together and happened just to run each other right at the swim up swim up park.
Yeah, they had that little bar in the pool. They met at the little bar at the pool. Hey, this Matt Stafford.
Sean, how's it going, Matt? Well, by the way.
Yeah, we're done with Goff. He likes to play Mario, brother. So we don't need him anymore.
We're not playing miniature golf today. We're hanging out by the pool.
And like Mike says, we don't get anything. We're probably going to get dinged on this. They're probably going to try to take away a draft pick from us.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. I know. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen, but we should get something out of this. If that's what the rule is, we should get something out of it.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw something on Twitter about explaining what tampering actually was. I didn't get a chance to read it, but it should be a very interesting situation. Guys, we've come up on the last 12 minutes of the show. I've got one more thing I want to talk about, but before that, we're going to take two more quick phone calls. Who we got in the building? You are currently unmuted. Hey. Who are we talking to? Hello. Who are we talking to? All right, we got to move on from him. Make sure you guys call back and be ready when you hear this. When you hear the unmuted, it is on you. All right, we have someone I'm currently unmuting, and you are on the line with the Gridiron Blitz, Mark Orum and MICROMIKE. Who are we talking to?
Hi there, my name's Edwin. Not a Lions fan, but I love the sport, and very interesting to hear from you guys. I love the show.
Appreciate
just
that.
want to let you know my opinion. I feel like Matthew Stafford, I'm glad that he got this opportunity with LA because, poor guy, man, he's wasted his career in Detroit, or at least that's what it seems like,
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you calling it. Not a Lions fan. That's the best that's the best thing we like to hear, man. You feel like he wasted I've been hearing that a lot, man. And you feel like maybe Matthew Stafford had the opportunity to get out, but he didn't. So therefore, he wasted his opportunity to win. Really,
loyalty is a tricky thing, right? Especially in the NFL, where if you try to jump boat, whatever the term is, you're seen like unloyal. But really, I mean, besides the money, you got to look for your opportunity to win. And being stuck with the Lions, even when Megatron was there, I mean, there was really no opportunity for them to really succeed. So glad the guy's in LA, and hopefully they'll be making the playoffs and a little more noise than he did in Detroit.
Hey, Edwin, appreciate that, man. Love the football take. I'm a fan of the game myself first. Lions are second. So I appreciate the call, man, and thank you so much, man.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. That's my man, Edwin, man. Appreciate the call. And that's going to wrap it up for the phone lines today. You guys were awesome on the first real episode of Spiked Kool-Aid. Make sure you guys check out on Thursday, 6:30 EST, we'll be live with the One Pride podcast, hosted on MICROMIKE, which should be the pinned comment right above. If you just look up, it's the pin. Don't dismiss it. Click it. Okay, that's how we do that. But we'll do this. We're gonna wrap up the show with this, and this is gonna be. Let me cue up the sound effect. Because we're gonna talk about, man, and this is gonna be. I don't know. I just kind of created this segment on the fly, but this is going to be called the explosive segment. Okay. That's just a little working title, but we're going to talk about loyalty. Does loyalty trump winning, or does winning trump loyalty? So I'll go first and we'll conclude the show. For me, I am loyal to a team, man. And I understand it's a business, but at the time, eventually you have to make a decision. You got to say, hey, am I going to win, or am I going to stick with the team that drafted me, or the team that you wanting to win and then wanting to win with the team that drafted you is a different thing. Now, I think I'm going to be alone on this, but I feel, in my opinion, I'm rich. I got everything I want. To me, I got to say, man, I would much rather undo 50 years of just heartache if I'm Matthew Stafford. I'm trying to win with this city. So I would have said to Sheila, listen, I'm your guy. I've been this guy, but when your mama was running it, when your daddy was running it, let me, get in and say some things. They gave him the opportunity to decide where he wanted to be traded. So that tells me that maybe they would have said, hey, Matthew, what do you want to see? What is it going to take for us to win? What do you want to see for us to win? And for me, I got to be honest, man. I'm that type of dude. I'm cut like that. A lot of people don't think I am, but I'm cut like that. I'm taking loyalty, bro. I'm taking loyalty over winning, man, because it's a lot of guys that suck, that never won. A Dan Marino, and I say this all the time, man. John Elway, the guys. It's a lot of guys that went out, but I think Matthew Stafford chose winning. And for me, I'm sticking with my city. It could be the homer in me, man, but I'm sticking with my crew. I'm sticking with my fam, and I'm sticking with the team, man. I want to be the guy that turns this team around, and he could have been that. So that's my take on that explosive take. We'll come up with a different name for it. But Mike, what do you think, man? Does winning trump loyalty, or does loyalty trump winning?
I'm a loyal person. Leadership is part of loyalty. Loyalty, duty, respect, self-assertion, honor, integrity, personal courage. I'm a loyal person. I go through thick and thin. And there's a chance that, hey, I could have taken success over being loyal to ISN. I chose loyalty. I didn't care. A lot of stuff happened, but guess what? I'm true to my word. And that's what I want to see when it comes to the players that we have here for the Detroit Lions. I want them to be, I got to do this for the city. Got to do it for the fans. I want to see this city that's been through so much bankruptcy and all the issues that goes on here, and I want to bring it up. That's what I want. Look at Nate Burleson. Nate Burleson is really loyal to Detroit.
Facts, bro.
He loves this city.
Yeah, he played for the Vikings, the Seahawks, and us, right? And he adores his favorite place is the city of Detroit, man. Dan Campbell said the same thing. Like, I didn't even know if I want to come here. You know what I mean? So, and he's like, bruh, I know enough about this city that I want to turn it around. But go ahead, Mike.
That's the way I feel.
Yeah.
And when I see that, I love it. And to me, loyalty can breed success if you're all in. If you're all in, you can do it. But if you're not all in, well, then you're not loyal, and success ain't going to work.
Absolutely. Good thought, Mike. Now, Mark, what do you think, man? Are you taking winning over loyalty? And we're specifically talking about Matthew Stafford, thinking about him with this. All right, which one are you taking, man? Does loyalty trump winning or winning trump loyalty?
Well, from a Matthew Stafford perspective, I think he was loyal as loyal gets. He was here for 12 years. He tried his hardest to win something for this city, but every man has a breaking point. And he got broke the last 2 years, whenever Patricia came. And, maybe he was good for the first year. I don't know. But like I said, every man has a breaking point. And I just think that, and maybe his wife had a little bit something to do with this. But I'm a loyal guy myself. I would take loyalty. I would try to win for my city. I would try it. But it's the same for Stafford. I think he tried to do that. I really, really do. And I think he had a lot of people in his ear. He didn't know what he wanted to do. And he bled on that field in Detroit.
Yeah,
so
he did.
And it was time to move on. And it was time to go where somewhere he could win. And I'm not going to fault the guy for it. I'm really not going to fault him for it.
Yeah, Mark, and I agree with that, man. I can see your point of view, and I respect that as well. My thing with Matthew Stafford is I just wish he would have been more vocal. He could have told the franchise what he wanted, and with me being from the city of Detroit, a lot of people don't think I am, but I actually grew up in the city of Detroit, and I know what the stereotype of the city is. I know how, like, Pat McAfee annoyed me to death this week. People just, oh my God. The thing that I saw was Matthew Stafford was finally released. Released from what? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you trying to say? I understand about the organization, but are you talking more about the city, or what are you talking about? Now the joke is, oh, you have to go to Detroit, and they're not really talking about the team. You know what I mean?
Oh,
so,
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, I appreciate Matthew Stafford, everything he's done. And now for the next 2 years, I can't, we play them and I'm not going to root for him. And I don't know if I can. I'm going to be real with you, man. I don't know if I can. I believe he can win. And I think that he can win. But do I want him to? That's up for debate right now. Maybe it's a little too fresh. Maybe the wound is too fresh. For me, guys, I need Matthew Stafford to speak. You've been here for 12 years. Say something. I know we might not be able for that to happen due to the fact that it's not official yet, but hopefully Matthew Stafford will say something and I will change my opinion then. But Mark, we've been on for 2 hours. You guys have been awesome. Mike, tell the people what you got, man, as we wrap up the show.
Show Thursday. It is the One Pride Podcast, 6:30 p.m. EST. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. You won't miss out on the content. Love the show. We do mailbag where we take all questions from you guys. It is fun. So make sure you subscribe, join the party, and also subscribe to Mark Orum from ORUM'S Forum. That's the guy below me in the little box below me. Subscribe to his channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That would be fantastic. And with that said, folks, adios.
Absolutely. Mark, what do you got for the people, man?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me on, Grid. This was awesome, man. This was a really cool layup, man. This was real cool, man. I really had some fun, guys, but I'll be dropping some videos. I'm going to be on the OPP with these guys, man. These guys are awesome, man. Subscribe to these two legends up here, man. It was fun, man. This is fun. I had a lot of fun, and I can't wait for Thursday, Mike.
Absolutely. So make sure you guys do that. And this is going to be the Tuesday format. Make sure you guys get ready to call the number. This was the first show. A lot of kinks, a lot of things like that. But thank you guys for rocking out. We topped off at 1 something, and I couldn't ask for more. This is what I want to do, man. I want to bring, and we want to do this as well. We want to bring an outlet for the real Detroit Lions fans that love this city, that want to get their voice heard, because, nobody talks about our city like we do. We love it. We respect it, and we want to see it win. So with that being said, you guys have been awesome. Make sure you are tuning in. Mike, what time is that on Thursday?
6:30 EST, 6:30 EST, 6:30 EST.
Absolutely. Mike, phenomenal host. Mark, a phenomenal teammate, man. You guys are awesome. We appreciate you, and we will see you on Thursday. Good night, everyone.